But I don't think we should have that as a rule, because not everyone.
I understood. It's my own personal preference.
Sorry,
Yes, please. We'll work on that. Okay. Approval of minutes. Our last meeting was held March 17th, 2026. Hopefully you had time to look over those minutes. If there's any changes or anything, if not, I will entertain a motion to accept those minutes.
Madam Chair, I make a motion that we accept the minutes of March 16th as stated.
Second.
Okay, any questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed? Okay, motion carries, and we'll move on to our finance report.
Hello.
Aye.
Hello.
So our first report is the balance sheet. Does anyone have any questions on the balance sheet? Okay, next report, which is the Ross grant. Does anyone have any questions on the Ross grant? Okay. Next up, we have Trent Court. Does anyone have any questions on Trent Court? Okay. The next report is New Bern Towers. Does anyone have any questions on New Bern Towers? Okay. Next up, we have one more page. Next up, we have the cash lead sheet. Does anyone have any questions on the cash lead sheet? Okay, and our last report is the grant report. Does anyone have any questions on the grant summary? Okay, and that was the last report.
Okay, thank you. If there are no questions, then we'll move forward with a motion to accept the financial report as is. Any questions? Okay, I'll entertain a motion to accept that. From
Okay.
somebody.
Madam Chair, I make a motion that we accept the financial report as given.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. Move right along. So we have some guests online from First Citizens to give us an update on our investments there. Good evening, gentlemen.
How's it going?
Good.
Good evening. Thank you for having us.
Is there anything in our report?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't see
Just
anything.
kidding. So Jeff, we'll turn it over to you and you can introduce your team and we'll go from there. It's just to kind of give an update.
Certainly. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. As many of you know, I'm Jeff Medlin. I'm your local relationship banker. I interact with Daphne and Reginald and among others on a regular basis. I'm joined today from First Citizens from Kwame. Kwame is our institutional consultant, and Josh is our portfolio strategist. And as many of you know, a couple of years ago, you took some funds from a variety of sources within the umbrella of the Housing Authority, and those funds were invested in accordance with your investment policy, as well as what the statutes allow for. I guess would this be our second update we've done with you guys since the investments? Does that sound right, Reginald?
Yeah.
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 So what we wanted to provide today, and I'm going to hand it off to Kwame and Josh to just give you an update of how that investment has done over time. I think an overarching comment that I would make is that it's doing it exactly what we hoped it would do, which is diversify the earning and make those dollars work a little bit harder than they were. So Kwame, Josh, jump in and if you would provide an update, and then we'll open it to any questions that you guys might have.
All right, thanks for the introduction, Jeff. Great to meet everyone. My name is Kwame. I'm the institutional consultant assigned to the New Bern Housing Investment Account. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Just let me know when you can see it.
Hold on 1 second, let me touch them first. Okay, there you go.
All right, perfect. Sorry, just one moment here. It looks like it's giving me a little issues. Hey, Josh, are you able to share the screen on your end?
Yeah, I have it pulled up. Let me see. Can you allow, I just sent a request for access to share. Okay, got it. All righty. Can y'all see this?
Yeah, we can.
Yes.
It's hard to see.
Oh, we can see
I'll,
it.
I'll zoom in. Is that better?
Yeah,
That's
that's better, yes.
Okay, perfect.
All right, thank you, Josh. This I like to call the most important page here. It highlights your net investment, which is going to be on that fifth row under the account summary. Your net investment was 1.5 million, and as of today, or let's say, sorry, inception date, March 2024. So that's from your initial investment. The principal value and total value is the same amount, 1.6 million. So the total portfolio is up about 125,000 to date. This quarter, we're up about 21 basis points year to date, 1.03%. And from inception, we're about 4.55%. If you can drop down just a little bit for me, Josh, we're going to look at that managed account on the left side under the account/benchmark section. And if you take a look over to the right, that 4.55% is currently what your portfolio is performing, and the benchmark is at 4.48. So we're just slightly outperforming the benchmark here, which is always a good note. Did you have any questions here before I move on to the next page? Perfect, Josh. If you can drop down to page 5 for me. All right. So this page here will highlight the current holdings. So currently, this portfolio is in a 1-year quarterly maturity. So it looks like we have 3 maturities in 2026, all estimated at about 1.2 million, and then one in 2027 at about 365,000. What I usually like to do is come to a pause at this page and just ask you if you have any cash needs within the future that you expect to either remove cash from this portfolio. If you do, always feel free to email me. I'll go ahead and email everyone after this, sharing my contact as well as Josh's, in case there may be any cash need coming up. Perfect. Josh, if you can go ahead and make your way to page 6 for me. And if you want to hit on this one here regarding the average yield to maturity.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so Kwame already kind of touched on it. So right now, portfolio is kind of what we call within that rolling 12-month investment window. So quarterly maturity schedule. As a bond matures, we take the proceeds, reinvest it out into that 12-month window. On a forward-looking basis, in terms of what can you expect to earn, current average forward-looking yield to maturity is right at 365. So 3.65% on a forward-looking basis. One thing that we are talking to a lot of our clients about, especially in similar situations, a lot of municipalities, is the benefit of thinking about lengthening that investment window, just given where rates are at today and what we expect the Fed to do. So, as we see continued Fed cuts that may be back half of 2026 or early 2027, you're going to see the short term, short end of the curve rates. So think 12 months and in fall a bit faster than rates in the 2 and 3 year space. So just something to think about. And I wanted to bring it to the board is thinking about lengthening the investment horizon of this portfolio from 0 to 1 year approach to a 0 to 3 year approach. So if you think about, if you move it to a 0 to 3 year approach, you're able to lock in rates in today's environment for a longer period of time, essentially making a higher percent return for a longer period versus staying within that 12-month window that we're currently in today. So just wanted to bring that, put that in your head and the thought process there, especially if you know that you're not going to be pulling any assets from this portfolio in the short term. Does that make sense? Any questions on that piece?
It makes sense, but you're really talking about us gambling on Fed policy and interest rates, basically.
So, I mean,
and I'm not saying it's a crazy gamble. I'm not
Yeah.
saying it's wrong. But we assume risk on both sides of it.
Absolutely, yeah, no, and you're not wrong there. If you look, in today's environment, if you look at the yield curve, the yield curve starting to flatten out. So that is more of an indication of putting pressure on the short end of the curve, and I say expecting, probabilities are greater to see an additional 1 to 2 cuts than the probabilities are for an increase in the Fed funds rate in the short term. But yeah, you're not wrong there, right? But just something to think about in terms of some added benefit in that yield standpoint.
And the thing I would chime in here with, and thank you, Josh, and I think that was Jim. That's a great point. It really comes back to the thing that Kwame was commenting on is, well, are there going to be any cash needs from this? Because that's the other part of this equation, right? Is, are there going to be, if there's going to be a need for that, it's a non-issue. But if there's not, it's at least something we wanted to call out, because again, what we're seeing in those longer dated maturities or longer dated portfolios is just a little bit better rate. Is it earth shattering? It is not. It's not going to dramatically change the return, but we felt like it was worth calling out.
Sure. Hey, I'd put some of it in the S&P if we could.
I don't think your friends at North Carolina General Assembly will let you do that.
I would if they could.
And something else to think about as well, right? If you have additional excess cash that you're not needing in the short term, definitely worth thinking about adding to the portfolio, just given where rates are at in this sort of strategy versus sitting in a money market or bank account.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things, Jeff, that Jim and I will do is coordinate a call with you guys over the next couple of weeks, because we want to bring a recommendation and discussion back to the board next month of a path forward. And so what I wanted you all to do today is exactly what you've done, is given us an update and then give some food for thought of our continued investment strategy going forward.
And I'm glad, Reggie, I'm glad you called that out, because there's something I wanted to catch up with you guys to supplement what we're doing with both what Kwame and Josh are doing, and again look at that overarching strategy. So great. I'm glad we're on the same page there. So that sounds really good.
All right. Well, thank you all.
Yes, thank you.
Madam Chair, other board members, any other questions anyone has at this time?
Thank you. Y'all make it easy on us. It's good, you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
Appreciate the opportunity.
Yes, sir.
All
right, have a good one.
Thank y'all.
Okay, so next we'll have our executive director's report.
Okay, I'm gonna make this pretty quick. Currently, the agency probably coming, as you all know, we have a contract with Watchtower Security. They have about 26 surveillance cameras around Trent Court. It feeds directly with us with the police department, which is pretty good. So we have general surveillance. We have a license plate reader camera that's out there. We have a panoramic camera that covers a good portion of the property. We have multi-sensor cameras as well. And then we don't really have, from an office standpoint, any interior cameras, because naturally we don't have any interior cameras in any of the homes. But as we continue to redevelop Charles Taylor, then we'll put some interior cameras in there. The system works pretty well. It is up for renewal. So you have two options. I've been going back and forth with them a little bit. And so, so one of the options is you can stay with the current plan. But they've indicated that the cameras naturally are a little outdated, but you can stay with the current plan. You can get a renewal, but you don't get new cameras. The other option is you get, with our renewal, they'll update the entire system, which is what I'm looking at. We currently have it. I'm just bringing it to you all to let you know where I'm focused and where I'm going with this. Just to give you an example, the monthly rate, the 1-year contract equals about $5,100 a month. If you do a 3-year contract, it runs about $4,000 a month. So it drops. If you do a 5-year contract, it goes to $3,800 a month. We currently are under the 5-year contract. I'm looking to renew it again under the 5-year contract. Previously, we did a prepayment on that. It's an eligible expense under capital funds. So we'll use capital funds.
So you pay the whole year out,
Yeah,
or do you pay the whole five?
we pay the whole 5. So we can either.
Okay, that's why I haven't seen it under the monthly
Yeah,
expenses.
because it was
Got
it was prepaid.
That was gonna be my
Yeah,
question.
it was prepaid prior to me coming on board. So, so again, we would, in the same stage, use the capital funds to do one of the, we'll either prepay it for the 5 years, or we'll prepay 50% out of capital funds for the 5 years in the end.
Any way to negotiate a greater discount for paying it all at once?
So, I've been, so the reason that it's right now coming to you all, because I've been going back.
Been working them.
Yeah, I've been going back and forth with them through emails and communication, the last 2 to 3 months on pushing that issue. And so the answer is yes, where we are is based on.
So that 38 a
Yeah,
month is based on a
Some
total,
pushback. Yeah.
total paying 5 years at once, they'll give us that rate.
Yes, and that's been.
Thank you.
And so we get new equipment and
Okay,
that,
wait.
we're back on? We're back, yeah.
Okay, good.
The new equipment is included in this updated software, the whole bit.
Yeah.
But what happens in 2 years when there's even more new equipment or the new technology? We've got to wait 5 years to get it upgraded again?
That's part of the discussion. And so that was one of my concerns, even where we are now, that the system is working great. We've not had any problems. When there's been shooting and other things going
We're
on,
able to.
we're able to see it, the police is able to forward reports, that, being able to pick up the vehicles and the foot traffic, all of those things. So it's one of the best systems that's out there and it's connected to the police department. So just to be very candid, while we're doing a little cat and mouse, it's still one of the best systems that we can access and utilize. And from a protection standpoint, our resident is serving the purpose. But we will be able to get the additional increase in But can't say that now we can do a 2-year contract, we do a 3-year contract and come back and negotiate the new equipment but it's just like anything else that we buy. You can buy a brand new TV today.
Yeah, I understand.
And next year, that TV is outdated.
Yeah,
And so, we can't,
and my instinct is true. I mean, we're talking about, if things go according to plan, significant new additions to what we have in the portfolio, right? So, I think it behooves us to, A, this is a no-brainer to have it, and B, our needs will be shifting over time. We need to take that into account.
yeah, so if and when, just, speaking to existence, if and when FEMA and the partial budget gets approved, we're gonna be pretty much in great shape to do the demolition of those units, but right now it's covering us on those units until they take those units down, with vagrants and all of those things. And so, so there's a value added benefit that we've had with having this system, since the flood has occurred and those units have been sitting there vacant because it's been able to pick up, get in everything. And then to you all's point, as we continue to go forward, once those units come down, for the safety and protection of our current residents, because those 108 units are still gonna be there for some time, before we even get to a demolition of them. So this type of system, has been extremely helpful to be able to keep it as much at bay as we possibly can.
Question. I think so. This system is set up only in Drinkport, right? When we start doing the demolition, there is a prorated setup because they will obviously be out of, commission for a little while.
Sure, well, the system won't be out of commission, those other units will come down.
Okay.
So that, it's just vacant land, but, we still want to protect, residents that, are gonna be out there walking around or other people, to be very candid, it's been helpful where, there was a situation on the walkway, on the trail, that some things occurred that are not our residents, but because of the system we got, it was able to pick up that type of activity, as well. So it serves a greater need, for us, but also as a protection, for, this community that's using that walkway as well.
Okay. I think we, on the whole, got some really good residents, but public housing can attract people from outside that are up to no good, and so we gotta watch it.
Well, I can tell you this, to bring it home, the shooting and the murder that we had a couple of years ago, as much as possible, it was able to pick up some of that, as well. So, as I say, it has been a tremendous for even drug sales and those kinds of things. It picks up the license plate tags of those vehicles. So it's not just where it picks up a white Honda, it's picking up a white Honda. If Pam was here and we show you the system, it can drill in to, picking up the license plate, very good. So it's serving the purpose we need. But Madam Chair, you had a question.
No, I was gonna suggest something else, but with what we're talking about is not. I'm of the, when it comes to business, I just wanna pay for it and I want it to be done with it. I don't wanna have to keep renewing it. I want it to be mine, so that's where I was going with that. Cause I have a camera system too, but it's paid for, it's done, it's mine, it still works today. And it picks that up too, but mine is not as elaborate as what you need, so I'll think about it.
Yeah.
Question for you, so, the anticipated completion date for Charles Towers, what do we anticipate?
So we gave the notice to proceed today. They have 60 days within the contract for mobilization. So to get their permit, to get all of those things. So they're working towards that 60 days and then it's 200 and.
So within the year?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so our lease at our current building, so we will be in the new building around February of next year.
27.
Yeah.
Well, in reference to this contract, because you're saying we're gonna need additional cameras and what have you. Part of this contract is for monitoring and everything. Is there a way to include that with the anticipation since we're paying? them?
Yeah, so we've had that discussion on the interior. It already covers the.
So it's gonna, this amount here will cover
Yeah,
that.
it covers,
Okay,
it covers
that's
all
what I-
cameras, front, back, sideways,
Okay, I
everything.
want to make sure, because we know that's coming online, I wanna make sure that.
Yeah, no, it covers that, and the benefit, value-added benefit there that I've had discussions with them about is especially when the ladies are at the office or.
Oh, yeah.
Not just the ladies, but anybody that's at the office, cause it'll have a community space in the back. So that way, when people are utilizing that community room, it's been able to cover that whole area as well. So in the event that something happens, we got full coverage.
You all still.
No,
So, no more, I wasn't sure, in payment, their additional rent.
Yeah.
That I didn't even know how that was handled anymore. Yeah, it used to be.
Yeah.
Many a day, as we
Yeah.
go, we come down to that building.
Nobody does cash.
I know,
yeah,
I was saying that'd be another concern.
no, we don't. So that was, just give you an
Do you
update.
need a
They-
motion to
No,
proceed
ma'am,
now?
yeah, it's an operational thing, I
Okay.
just wanted to bring you all up and make y'all aware of what's going on. And then, we'll get to this, the approval of non-operational stoves and refrigerators. We got a bunch of old stuff that we're getting, need to get rid of and write off. And so we have that for you, this afternoon, so when we get to resolutions, we'll need your approval on the removal of the non-operational stove and refrigerators. Some of those were so old that you couldn't even read the serial numbers, so. A few of those on the stoves, we were not able to pick up, and that's because of grease and just age and those things, but I can assure you that none of that stuff is new, it's antiquated, and we need your approval on that resolution to write those things off and to give us a chance to dispose of.
Possible to give us an update, that we know anything about the grants or anything where we're at with that with the close down of the government. I know we can't access FEMA funds, even the net.
So right now, to your question, we still have weekly calls with our team. We normally have monthly calls with our FEMA and North Carolina team. We cancel those each month because of the partial government shutdown. FEMA is not in office. In the work, so some of them are working, they just can't communicate with us, because of Asheville and Hurricane Helene, they're still doing some work. They just can't communicate with local governments in that particular way. So, we were sending stuff to them, that we had on the list additionally.
FEMA or to.
To FEMA. So we're still sending items to the FEMA team that we were working on, but they can't communicate that with us because of the government shutdown. And that's holding us up in a couple of different areas, but that's kind of where we are.
But as far as the grant process goes, is HUD suffering the same fate or?
No, Choice Neighborhood is moving forward. Generally, a couple of weeks after applications, they generally post who applied. They have not done that yet. We check the website every day in the HUD website, if anybody wants to look at it. For Choice Neighborhood, it has not been updated since 2024. So it's not just a situation where even though they made awards last year, the system has not been updated, but bureaucracy is best. So that's where we are.
Well, we're hoping the clock is ticking and we know they usually,
So we expect still.
the end of May, beginning of June.
We expect still to get notification sometime with our fingers crossed at the end of May, June, for them to schedule a site visit. And right now, if they come and do the site visit in June, as we expect, then generally they'll make awards in July or August timeframe. So unless something changes, we would expect to get a notification of an award in the August, no later than the August timeframe. So unless something happens.
Does the May thing, is there a cut made before the May thing?
So generally there is, but because their system is not up, we can't see it, but so generally what happens is they post to apply. And then with our consultants, we do our deductive analysis to say, this state is out, this community is out, yada, yada. And then we kind of bet that, okay, here are the teams that's in play. And then from that list, HUD generally will schedule, like I said, they'll make their own short list and they'll schedule site visits. Generally based on the schedule that we know that they generally should be working off of, we should have a site visit scheduled sometime in June.
But we're not guaranteed to.
We're not guaranteed.
They could say, no, we don't want y'all.
Exactly, but just based on the current schedule.
No negative vibes.
That's right.
Positive.
I just want to, I don't want to be surprised.
Yeah, so, but, so if we're on the short list, we think, we're planning and anticipating a visit sometime in June.
And that visit looks like what?
It will be, they would notify us and then we would have a team of individuals from the HUD office in DC, that's in the Choice neighborhood, and then they would come down and meet with us as a community. So they'll meet with, the alderman, community like we've done before. So they'll have some local community meetings, those kinds of things. And so, based on the community input we received, we would assemble a group of individuals to come to a meeting with the HUD officials. They would do a tour of the community, they'd do a site visit. They may even talk to people in the community without our involvement. And so, but that's their boots on the ground. I mean, they're gonna come to the community.
You're gonna check out our
You're gonna
application.
check out
They're gonna validate
What
what.
we said
what
we're
we're
gonna
gonna
do,
do.
we're gonna do.
That's right. So they're gonna validate what we said in our application. Yeah. So that's kind of the time.
Thank you.
All righty.
Any more questions from anyone?
That's the urgent.
Yeah, please.
Okay, please take a look at our New Bern Power, all the reports, all three, New Bern Powers, Trent Court, Ross program, let us know, or anybody have any questions about those?
Sabrina had a couple of questions.
There was a question.
Yeah. And so,
With the towers.
yeah, the towers and.
No, I think with the towers it was just a wrong number,
Yeah.
but the number, it was right, but you just on the,
Previous month.
previous month occupants, it should be 97.
Yeah.
But yeah, 98, but you just picked up the wrong number, but the math was right.
So previous is 97 and current is 97?
Yes,
Yes.
because they had one move in, one move out, which is a wash. I do apologize. That's it, no, you don't need to apologize at all. Yeah.
Is there a reason why it's taking a while to get the 9 vacant ones filled?
Okay, I can, tell you, that some of the, 3 of them is, they are damaged from, water. So 3 of
Well,
them,
that's good.
yeah, that's all. The other ones we do, we waiting, as they get through with maintenance and get prepared and, they are moving it. We have people that is already, they ready.
Yeah, we have 5 approved, I see.
Right.
So
So it's coming up, and then we have, we going to, Inspire and stuff like that, but everything is going good, it's gonna be okay. It's definitely gonna be all right.
Miss Pam, are you on?
she's on. You can look at me. Oh,
Pam, can you hear?
I can. I was trying to unmute. I'm
That's
sorry.
it.
Apologize. Yeah.
Pam, I'm just picking up, again, the numbers are off. So in March, you showed that your current units occupied for your March report were 105. So. Yeah, wait a second, excuse me, in February. Sorry, in February, I'm looking at the two reports. February, current month's units occupied would be 105. So then your current units occupied in this report's 105, which is correct. But you had one move in and one move out, which is a wash. So you still should have had 105 and not 104, is that correct?
Okay, you saying, let me walk to my office because I'm a visual type person.
Yes, ma'am, I understand, I am too.
And if y'all want to go to the Ross thing, I'm gonna walk to my office and get it. So you speaking of February, correct?
Can you see the screen, Pam?
Yeah, I have that one, but I don't have the previous month that she's
No,
speaking.
no. Don't worry about the previous month. Just look
Yeah.
at.
Look at there, it says 105, see where it says
Yeah, I do.
105, and then you had one move in, so that would have been 106. And then you had one move out, so that would have taken it back to 105, not 104. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so then your total vacant units are off, then it should only be 5 vacant units rather than 6.
3
If the
bedroom.
numbers are correct. I don't know, maybe your move in, move out are incorrect.
No, because we do have 1 bedroom. We have 161 and let me go look at my board. But yeah, okay, yes, ma'am.
And you don't need to correct me now, you can, just look at it and do it up, Tashi.
And I do want to say too, that, going back to the New York Times, we had a couple of deaths. We had random like deaths.
And that makes them
had-
beautiful.
Yes, and some people were nursing home. So that's been addressed in like verbal as well. So just for putting it out there.
Okay, so Pam, just, that's just for your interest, just to look at it and make sure your numbers are correct.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, any other questions about any of the reports, the other reports?
No, just a shout out to the Ross team. You guys are doing it great. I mean, I love to see your numbers. So, it's looking great. I like the graph. The color graph is really helpful to see, and it kind of says, it's more visual as we talked about. But it looks like you're keeping everybody active and informed. There's all these services. You're bringing awareness to them. I hope you're seeing good end results where it's leading to better lives for our residents.
I have a little speech if I have a few moments.
No.
You got 1 minute.
1 minute,
Okay.
1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute. We are participating with one of our community partners this month. Brave and Smart Start this month to bring awareness to child abuse. The pinwheels and yard signs we have on the property of Trent Court, as well as our office location. The roster coordinators, we attended the Resident Council Leadership Council Conference in Asheville, North Carolina, and we took 2 residents. As a result, we will be starting a resident council again at Trent Court. And we have our first interest meeting on May the 4th, 2026. Can somebody say success? We had a resident that told us that she celebrated 8 years clean.
Amen.
So we celebrated with her and did a certificate and signed it from the Ross coordinators, marking the occasion. We also have Progress Report Month. We had several residents that told us
their child went up 1 letter grade. So we celebrated that with a special certificate and a surprise book bag with school supplies in it as an incentive. Can somebody say successful? One resident told us that she completed the patient registration class at the vote center and received 35 hours of credit. She was referred by us to go and get that certificate. Success one more time. One more time. One resident completed her GED. She was given a certificate to celebrate her success. We continue to host workshops at NC Works, assisting residents with finding employment. We will be hosting Sunday on June the 8th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. We have confirmed 22 vendors. I've reached out to 44. We're still waiting on more vendors. And we're gonna do a push for voter registration on that day. Can somebody say success? It's one vote time. Those are part of the flyers and packets that we put together weekly for the resident. On June 16th, this is my last one, 1 minute's about one, at 12 noon. This is exciting, y'all.
I know it.
At Trent Court, the Friendly Dental Van mobile unit will be there to assist families with their children for dental needs. Thank you.
Okay, May 4th, is it open on May 4th?
That's the resident leadership, the council, May 4th. And we would love for you guys to come and support some of these events, especially the family community day.
Could you send an email, because you say these things here, I forget it, and if you would send out an email to us.
Email.
That would be better.
I'm gonna give you a personal flight.
I know. Yeah, then I can get it to my calendar.
So she'll get it to Carolyn.
Yes, send that. That'll be awesome.
All right.
I would even venture to say, because it's on my heart to say, some of these accomplishments are extraordinary.
Yes.
And I would like to actually invite them to one of our meetings and say, can you come and we can actually honor them. May not have anything to give them, but a stamp. We actually stand in innovation, but, I'm just saying, okay. We did invite the young lady, 8 years, clean. Okay. He was crying so bad when we gave her the certificate. It was probably, sometimes things can be a bit much. For people. Right. But I'm just saying, maybe one out of all that you listed, say, hey, we got a board meeting on this day, can you come? And we want to see, we put eyes on who it is you're talking about. Can you do that? I know. And then the email. Okay, thank you. And we can get them, during the public comment, so they can just come in and get on out the way. Okay, thank you. Yeah. We have resolutions. Yes, that's where we are. Just one or two? I see. Okay, 2 pages. Okay, there's one in my packet, but it's.
That's the attachment.
Yeah, that's just what we're writing on.
Okay, on that, but there's a different date. Up here. See what I'm saying? This is the construction contract, I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, that's just in.
Okay. So we just have one resolution.
This is just to sell the junk.
Yeah, and the title at the top of the resolution, I didn't change it. I was working on this afternoon. The title should be disposition of surplus items with no value.
Get rid of the junk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Disposition of surplus items.
With no value. The resolution itself is fine. I just didn't change that before I hit send and Reggie.
Madam Chair, I'll make the motion that we approve resolution number 04.26.01 as to the disposition of surplus items with no value.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed to this position? Okay, motion carries. And the next,
Yeah, I do,
yes,
obviously, if it's got no value, we have no business keeping it. I do wonder why we've got refrigerators that are from 2022, 2020 that have no value though. I mean, I just wonder, I mean, is it people mistreating them and stuff? Because I mean, I've got refrigerators way over that function real well.
And we have pictures of all of that for our files as well. So it's not just a matter of, we're coming to ask you all to write something off. We got.
I believe you. I'm not worried about it. I just am like.
No. That's on our.
That's a pretty new thread.
No, it is.
Raises are.
A lot of it is the, some of them are the seals that the company doesn't have those seals to replace them with.
No,
So we
I
can't.
know all about that stuff.
Yeah, so even though some of them are newer, we can't get the seals.
I had a
So
freezer that
it's
was
not.
40 years old, 40, worked every single day and doesn't stop. It was one of those old southern freezers that was dead.
Yeah.
It died, so I had it for 40 years, never had a problem.
Hang on,
Yeah, Is it now?
I think my fridge and dishwasher and wrap up probably were with the house in '86 when it was built. I think. The water heater was certainly the hell thing to replace it.
okay, was that?
Yes.
That motion, okay, I know he came back.
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right, thank you. So the next motion, that we need to entertain is for closed session.
I move that we go to close, or you need to do it. Do you know how to say it? You go into closed session? According to statute 143-318.11 A 3 and 5.
That's real estate and attorney-client privilege, not in that order, but yeah.
All in favor? Any opposed? Thank you.
Who was the second? Sabrina, that you?
Yes, please, thank you.
Thank you, ladies.